the court longer? Is the rim higher?
Were you in that early season thing at the United States?
Yeah,
They had it every year. It's like the tip-off.
Yes,
yeah, right.
yes. So I played in that. That was my first experience playing in the NBA arena, and it just seemed like everything was bigger. It was more fans. The court seemed bigger, and I know it's the same court. Three-point line has moved back, but we still shoot from college three, but that seemed farther. The rim seemed a little bit higher, and so she'll make the adjustment. She's a great shooter, so it'll take time. She'll make the adjustment. Not everybody comes in and just, even though they're known for three, I even beat Steph Curry in the three-point contest his rookie year.
Brought that up several times.
His rookie year, because he was still getting adjusted to the NBA courts. Now, I will never beat him ever again in my life, so I cherish that.
You don't know that.
I cherish that.
Okay, so I had never even thought about assists in an all-star game because I just didn't care, because it's such a mad scramble and everybody's jacking up threes that it seemed like there aren't that many great passes because you don't need to make great passes because you're mostly just feeding people on the perimeter and they're going to catch it and shoot it, right? Or maybe dribble it a couple of times and jack it up. And I thought off the top of my head this morning, well, what's the all-star NBA record for assists in a game? And I had to look it up because I never thought about it, but Magic, once upon a time in 1984, had 22 in a game that they lost at Denver because Isaiah Thomas was the MVP of the game, and he had 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 15 assists.
Oh, wow.
So Magic had 22 to 15 for Isaiah. So it's like, I didn't even know that because I didn't care.
But NBA All-Star scoring has long been way inflated and a joke, whereas, as you guys both said, this was a highly competitive game. Like Cheryl Reed said after the game, she said, it's one of the greatest spectacles in the history of our league, this game. That's saying something coming from her. And the competition between these two teams, it's not a surprise because, first of all, this happened before the last Olympics, was the WNBA team beat the Team USA team. But the Team USA team then went on for an easy gold. This game, this is the toughest competition that the women's team will play the entire summer. So, yes, this was a super competitive game, but it doesn't, to me, feel like a harbinger of, oh, Team USA is in trouble or anything like that. As for Caitlin, the tiredness, again, I'm going to say it, I think it is a big deal. She has brought up the fact that she has played basically a year straight of basketball. And if you look at when the college season ended, when the WNBA draft was, and when she had to start playing, I mean, it all happens within like a month, 5-week span.
I can understand that.
So she now has the month off. I think that not making this Olympic team, as controversial as it was, may actually be the best thing for her rookie year. And I'm very interested to see her shooting numbers when she comes back.
It will be interesting. But to Paul's point, she didn't see that many Kelsey Plums in college basketball. And Kelsey was taking this very seriously.
It felt like a Game 7 the way she was playing.
And Kelsey's been in the weight room because she brings it, man.
It's just like, I was so jealous watching this, Skip, and I was just like, I wish the NBA All-Star.
I know. It was really fun to watch.
This was really fun to watch.
Right.
I mean, and Enrique, oh my gosh, I think she can get a bucket in the NBA.
Well, she got them all.
I think she can get a bucket.
But
I think she can get a bucket in the league. Seriously.
And she's not the only one.
So let's take a quick look at all 7 of Caitlin's misses to show you how close, because she said 3 of them she thought were down.
They just keep going in and out.
So there she goes on the first one. It's a little short.
Short is also a sign of being tired?
It is. And a little wide right. And then that's usually money for her.
Ball every time I notice.
It
looks, I mean, it's just great.
Pretty open. Wide left.
Yeah, you noticed it with that ball,
This is the one that's at the end of half, and that got her because she just ran off the court shaking her head like, I thought that was down. No good. And
I mean, they're jumping way out at her. I just didn't think, being an all-star game, I mean, but this is competitive.
You don't think that our Team USA didn't want to put it on her because they're all the ones who said, well, what about us? Are we chopped liver? And I kept saying, well, your ratings have been kind of chopped liver. You're not, but your ratings have been until she walked in the door, right?
And by the way, again, you talk about that contribution to this game in particular. The number of eyeballs on this game was so important because it wasn't just the Caitlin Clark show. It showed off so many great players in the W. And I imagine that people who tuned in maybe just even for this All-Star game, because they're like, okay, an All-Star game I'll watch, suddenly may have fallen in love with not just Caitlin, but many of these players.
But it was just exciting. It was just an exciting game. Like, I know at one point that the USA team got down 20, but just to watch the show from some of these women, in particular Enrique, I mean, I was over here like, whoa. Like, every time down, the threes, the fadeaways, it was just like, whoa. I mean, Reese, Caitlin, Asia, Brianna hit him with the Euro on the break. And I was like,
she was a monster in this
Brianna
game.
Stewart, Donna Taurasi came in, made her threes out the jump. I just enjoyed this game. And the game definitely grew even more after that All-Star.
So for me, if I'm grading the old Caitlin that I thought was going to be Steph Curry, I got to give her like a D for the game.
Man,
but if I'm embracing the new
USA
Caitlin who had 15 assists the other night, then I say,
what about this?
Well, I got to give her a B, maybe.
So the orchestrator don't get no credit for a good symphony.
But what is there to orchestrate in an All-Star game? Because she made a couple of nice passes, but they're not required. You know,
it is required.
I feel like everything was required in that game.
Yeah,
come
on, Skip. She orchestrated. Man, come on, she gave it to him. You had over here, you had Reese on the saxophone. Come on, Enrique was over there on the...
Allegedly the greatest shooter ever to come out of college. You just gave an A+ to for going 0 for 7 from her place. Since where she lives, 0 for 7 from 3.
Nope, shoot and come and go. She's not Steph to me no more. She's Stockton.
Okay, well, if she's Stockton, then I'll go along. I won't go A+, but she deserves a good grade.
Yeah, that's Stockton. That's why I said
they did win the game.
She would have loved to be in my class.
And in the fourth quarter, she had a couple of chances where as you well know, assists have to be cashed by the player that you assist to. And she had a couple that I thought would get cashed because she loves Sue Bird. She idolizes Sue Bird, but her record is just teetering. Sue's is 11, and so she could tie it. And Caitlin wound up with 1 assist in the fourth quarter because a couple did not get cashed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. And by the way, they asked Caitlin after the game, is this vindication for you that you beat this Team USA team after being left off of the team? And she had a really smart answer. She said, no, absolutely not. I still expect them to go on and win, which is absolutely true. I do think for Enrique, there was a bit of vindication because she has talked about the fact that the Team USA selection process is way too political, in her words, and that she was left off this team when she absolutely thought she deserved to be on it, and we saw that the other night.
She took it personal for sure.
Yeah.
She did in the second half.
Second half.